Good evening, everyone. Welcome to True Crime Trivia. Tonight we are doing 30 questions that are general in nature. They are not on any one particular serial killer. One second, I got to move this table back so it doesn't bump there. So it doesn't bump the table again. Don't want to hit the tripod again. Shake it all night long. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Let's see here. Scroll up and so I can say hello to everybody. First off, Pippadot, I did get your message about changing your actual name. Well, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Carrie, Marcia, Stephanie Fisher, Jeannie, welcome. Inner Peace, good evening. I hope you had a wonderful day today. Soul for Music 79, welcome. Debbie Gilligan, good evening. Marcia, Will from Minnesota. Marcia C. Welcome, for all my friends and family and anybody else who's out there. It's in the Minnesota area. Okie dokie, Brooks. Hi, Will and Chad. Your skin's looking so smooth. Thank you for that. Colleen, the cat lady. Good evening. I hope you all had a wonderful, relaxing weekend. I had a pretty good weekend myself. Didn't do much. I went golfing yesterday. Of course, we also had the live stream yesterday morning. Caroline H, welcome. Cement Shoes, good evening. So the 30 questions again tonight are all general true crime, are crime related in general. They are not on any one particular individual. And if you've never been here before, you will see the trivia question on the actual screen along with the 4 possible answers. One is actually obviously the correct answer. Some of them I play a little loose with the possibles. You may see Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck pop up as an option. If you wish to care for guess that, you can. We're just doing this for fun. You can play along, keep score on a piece of paper on how many you get correct. I hope that everybody has fun. Yeah, Debbie, I got your the comment that you posted earlier. When you actually posted that, I was online live. I was actually putting the questions. I was typing the questions out, so I couldn't stop and reply back to you that I'd seen your message. As far as if you go, I don't know what kind of device you're using, but if you go to the About Me section, you should be able to see a little gray box there that says email, and then you have to click on that box. And it's going to ask you if you're a robot. If you're not a robot, and I'm assuming you're not, Debbie, it will then display right there on that actual screen. Now, I don't know if maybe your internet settings could block that. I don't know if that would be considered a pop-up. I don't know. But you can also message me on Facebook through the True Crime group 411 Now. It's a group you have to be approved to actually enter in there. I don't know if you're in that group, but putting up advanced announcement for live. I set an alarm, but they notified me this time. Well, they did. That's rare. Cement Shoes. A lot of times that no one's getting the notifications of these if I'm live at all. Where is this gray box? I'll message you on Facebook if I can. Okay. But even if you're not in the True Crime group, Debbie, just put my name in there. William Finley. It's got this face on it. So, all right, let's jump into this and get the first question up here in a second here. Oh, Jeannie got the notification too. Wonders never cease, right? You have an iPhone 8. No, I'm not sure how about iPhones. I don't use Apple products. It's not that I have anything against them. I just never used them. I've had a couple of tablets and stuff like that over the years. Apple. It's just not my thing. I'm not very technology savvy. Okay, so here is the first question for tonight's trivia. Where was the Zodiac's first confirmed crime? The Zodiac Killer. Where was the Zodiac Killer's first crime? San Francisco, Los Angeles, Lake Herman, or Lake Berryessa? Get out my answer key. That might be helpful. Ooh, Caroline got the too. I was so mad at YouTube. Unsubbed me. Been since 2018. I'm sorry about that, Cement Shoe. That happens though. And here in a second, I'll tell you how that happens to a lot of people. And I mean, to be surprised how many people don't actually know that YouTube will unsubscribe you from channels that you subscribe to. Alpha Fam, good evening. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining. Where was the Zodiac Killer's first confirmed crime? Can a person ever be subscribed to too many channels? I don't know if there is a maximum. I know there's a maximum on Facebook for how many friends you can have, how many different groups you can be a part of on Facebook. I do not know on YouTube. I mean, I'm probably subscribed publicly to 100 myself. I mean, I would have to say it's close to 100. Do I watch all those channels? No. Some of them you can never unsubscribe to. If YouTube shut the channel down, the box for subscribe or unsubscribe that you would click on is gone once if YouTube takes it down. So you'll just have a dead name on the subscription list forever. Well, good, Alpha Fam. Glad you could be here. Okay, where did the Zodiac Killer's first confirmed crime come from? The correct answer is C, as in cat. Lake Herman. Lake Herman is the site of the first confirmed crime committed by the Zodiac Killer. Okay, so quickly before we go on to the second question, I wanted to tell Cement Shoes and everybody else out there that YouTube, if you just say like you want to watch my content, and it comes up at the top of your page as the suggested or next suggested video for you to watch. If you don't actually go over all the way over to the left-hand side to actually click on the channel itself and then view it from that way, they do not show that you are interacting as a subscriber to that actual channel. And after a certain period of time, they cull those who are subscribed to channels away. They're like, well, this person's obviously not watching it anymore, and we don't want to keep suggesting this video to them anymore, or this channel to them anymore. We want to suggest what they're actually watching, but they don't count the watches from the suggestions. So whenever you click on, oh look, he's got a new video, and you click on just on the suggested tab, that video, you could miss out on a lot of channels. They may unsubscribe you to them. So that's the answer. Question number 2. Victim Mike, however you pronounce that, I'm not going to try, and Darlene Farron were attacked by the Zodiac. Mike survived and said, what color of car did the Zodiac drive? Did the Zodiac drive a red car, a black car, a pink car, or a brown car? Hello, Caroline H. Kind of craw. Mike Steven. Kind of craw. Good evening, Mike. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight, Mike. I click on new. It went by. 1 second. I click on new notifications, but sometimes the dummies don't send them. Yeah, well, their system is not exactly the best, and it depends on what they're screwing with and improving. Some improvements don't work all that great. Brooks, that's great information. I always click on from the feed. I'll stop doing that. No, you don't have to. Just remember that, if you're subscribed to a channel, just click on the actual name from the left-hand side. You don't even have to click on a video. Just as long as you click on it, it shows that you're interacting with that actual that channel that you subscribe to. You don't even have to watch something. You just click on it and go, oh, okay, they have new video. And you can watch a video if you not want, or stream or whatever. Notifications, though, hit or miss. It's always been hit or miss. Short Nice, welcome. I'm glad you could be here today, Mr. Frosty. Mr. Frosty in the house. Good evening, sir. Glad you can make it to the True Crime TV tonight. We are only on question number 2. What color car did the Zodiac drive? It's terrible that they do videos like that. I click on the suggested videos too. I make sure to click on the channels. Normally, unless you're David Berkowitz. David Berkowitz had a red Toyota. Can you imagine him driving a pink car, right? Yeah, it's an option. I mean, there's pink cars out there. The only people I ever see with pink cars are, don't take offense to this either, and this is only from my own personal experience, are either drag queens or they're selling cosmetics. It's the only people I ever see with pink cars. I don't even know any friends or family or anybody who owns a pink car. I really don't. And a lot of the younger generation now, I mean, especially those who are around my daughter's age, they don't even drive anymore. They Uber or take shared rides everywhere they go. Mary Kay pink cars, yeah. I couldn't remember the name of the cosmetics company, but it's Mary Kay. Hi, Lisa. And good evening, Lisa. Welcome to the True Crime Tribute tonight. Cheryl Hamilton, good evening. You must be doing it right. The notifications, Short Nice, it's hit or miss. You never know. Dale Earnhardt's first race car was pink. Fun fact, I did not know that. The man in black, huh? His first car was pink. Danny Hamlin, I don't think his first car was pink, but I know it was blue and green. Or at least one. I don't know if that was his first car, though. It might have been his second or third car. All right, victim. What said that? These are two victims of the Zodiac. What color car did the Zodiac drive? The correct answer is D as in dog. Moments in Trading. Welcome. I've been seeing was a blue hoopty. But Zodiac drove a brown car. And by the way, however you pronounce Mike's name, Mike McGoo, I don't know how you pronounce it, but he is one of the only surviving victims of the Zodiac who gave the most detailed description of not only who the Zodiac killer was, but the car, his size, his statue, everything about him. He gave a complete description of everything, the most detail of any victim, or eyewitness of the Zodiac. Fun fact: Fred West cried at Bambi movies. Freaking hilarious. Fred West. Wow. All right, we're moving on to question number 3. What torturous twosome was nabbed by police after attempting to steal a vice from a California hardware store? What torturous twosome was nabbed by police after attempting to steal a vice from a California hardware store? Was it Lake and Ning, Charles and Davenport, Bundy and Carroll's, or Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck? Well, he certainly wasn't an attractive individual, was he? Soul for Music, I suck at this. Well, yep, you might turn it around. Kathy Polio, good evening. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight on True Crime Trivia. You're buffering? Uh-oh. I have a perfect signal here, 5 out of 5 right now. So I know it's not from my side. I'm sorry. We all suck at this, Soul. That's what makes it fun. Yeah, Inner Peas, Roadrunner, and Wile E. Coyote. Mike is going with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. It's just knowledge. You know what? Who was back at the house? They were going to use the vice on. I don't know, Minnie Mouse? I have no idea who they were going to use the vice on. Couldn't believe how many I got wrong on the Bundy live. A little embarrassing. I'm sorry, Cement Shoots. Some of these can be really obscure questions. Can be really obscure. So, you probably know an awful lot about Bundy and in his crimes, but some of these are really obscure, and you have to really read through the questions. Some of them there are a little bit tricky, kind of like the first question. If the first 2 answers are, it gives you the option of actual city names, and then the last 2 are actual lakes. But if you actually look at where is the actual geographical location of those 2 lakes, see, that's how they get you on some of these. So don't hold it against yourself. You probably know an awful lot about Bundy, probably a lot more than I know. All right, what torturous twosome was nabbed by police after attempting to steal a vice from a California hardware store? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is not D. I thought for sure it was D. I thought it was Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, but it's actually Lake and Ning. A is the correct answer. Who is Mickey Mouse? I think it's supposed to be Mickey Mouse. I didn't spell these out. I just copied them. If there's errors in the question itself, I'm sorry. Sometimes I try to catch them as much as I can. Some of them are pretty obvious, like some words you'll see capitalized and other words are not in the actual question, or they'll whoever put the questions together on the actual site, it will, like the word to some there will actually be to and then some, as in 2 words instead of 1 word. So, all right, question number 4. H.H. Holmes was the name he went by, but what was his real last name? What was H.H. Holmes' real last name? Was it A, McConnor, B, Slade, C, Mudgett, or D, Wuornos? I understand, Carrie. But I really do try to proofread these as much as I can. Some of them are pretty awful, but at least this site, most of the questions that I've researched on this one, check out. I don't have time to check all 30 questions necessarily, so I'll do like a spot check, of the 30 questions. I'll go, all right, I'll pick 30 questions, put them aside in a separate window, and then I'll Google 10 of the randomly. And if those check out, then I'll use them. If not, but the spelling errors are Jesus. I think my son would probably spell better. Mr. Frosty, Cool J. Cool J. '70s sitcom trivia, moments in trading. I'll write that down as an idea. '70s sitcom trivia. See if I can find questions that are crime related, to 1970s sitcom. No, I'm serious. We're getting ready for the next one. Are you? Every time I say the name Cement, you know who I'm talking about? Like the other day, Carla Faye Tucker. Who played the recurring role of the teenager Jungle Boy on Gilligan's Island? That's a good question. Then again, I haven't seen Gilligan's Island in a long time. But I'll tell you something about Gilligan's Island, though. I got a piece of trivia for you on that one. All right, H.H. Holmes was the last name that he went by, but what was his real last name? The correct answer is C, as in cat. Mudgett. Mudgett. Was it Kurt Russell? Was he the Jungle Boy? Was it H.H. Vallow or Dave Bell? So the correct answer for question number 4 is C, as in cat. A quick little piece of trivia on Gilligan's Island. The lagoon area where Gilligan's Island in the opening credits, where you see the ship shipwrecked on the shore of its uncharted desert isle with Gilligan. You understand the beginning part of it. That actually was an estate that is part of that's in Hawaii, but in I think it was the mid or early 1980s, that actual property was sold to Imelda Marcos, the wife of Ferdinand Marcos, who used to be the president of the Philippines. When they went to they had to flee for their lives out of the country from the Philippines. That's where she ended up moving, was there. All right, question number 5. David Berkowitz said to a reporter with ABC News, New York, "I dreamed of growing up to be what? Fill in the blank. A hairdresser, a professional baseball player, a killer, or a musician." Kurt Russell. Wow, I had no idea. Don't test me about G. I'll kick some butt. Is that a GI? What movie featured Clint Eastwood and the skipper? It's a good question, Mr. Frosty. I don't know. Russell played the Jungle Boy in the first season episode of Gilligan's Island, titled Gilligan Meets Jungle Boy. I didn't know that. See, we're all learning things today. That's cool. David Berkowitz said to a reporter with ABC News, New York, "I dreamed of growing up to be what? A hairdresser, B, a professional baseball player, C, a killer, or D, a musician." Hang 'em high. I did not know that, Mr. Frosty. I just watched Dirty Harry the other day, though. I shouldn't say I got to watch it. I didn't get to watch it all. I watched about maybe 50%, 60% of it, somewhere in there. Will, where is Crystal? Would love to say hi. Carrie, she's inside the house right now with a very active 5-year-old. Imelda Marcos, the shoe queen. Yep. And I know that little tiny trivia fact because my sister, her husband, his dad was the head of the military for Imelda Marcos. I mean, for Ferdinand Marcos. He was in charge. Imelda was the wife, but Ferdinand Marcos, he was the head of the army for the Marcos. Power, whatever. But when they had to flee and go into exile, so did their family, and they relocated in San Francisco, California, and then part of that family moved to here where I live now. But yeah, little taco man. But they even after they went into exile, they always kept in touch with the family. Remember, Kurt Russell did all those Disney's I'm in college movies, like The World's Strongest Man. Huh. David Berkowitz said to a reporter with ABC News, New York, "I dreamed of growing up to be blank." What was it? The correct answer is D, a musician. He dreamed of growing up to be a musician. Hogan's Heroes has a true crime connection. Yeah, he was murdered, but he was into some pretty kinky stuff. Bob Crane's murder, yeah. Well, wasn't the first Superman murdered as well? I forget. But David Berkowitz grew up and wanted to be a musician. So question number 6. In which Wisconsin city did Jeffrey Dahmer live? Which Wisconsin city? Did he live in La Crosse, B, Milwaukee, C, Falls River, or D, Prescott? Which Wisconsin city did Jeffrey Dahmer live? Remember those movies, the monkey that selects top TV shows? The chemical that makes you invisible, the drug that makes you strong, all Disney comedies with Kurt Russell. He made chocolates. I'm sure if you noticed, but I had half my left foot amputated. I was in the hospital for a month. Now I have to undergo more. I'm so sorry about that, Marcia. My prayers are with you, sweetheart. Never missed a movie about horses, Jeannie? I don't think my sister has either. I think my sister growing up, one of her favorite movies was like The Black Beauty. You know, movies like that. Dahmer worked at a chocolate factory. Ugh. I don't know if I'll be able to look at chocolate the same way. I've never been one for like sweets, so. Oh, shit. Forgot to turn the camera back on. Sorry. All right. In which Wisconsin city did Jeffrey Dahmer live? The correct answer is B, as in boy, Milwaukee. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's not the only place that he lived in the state of Wisconsin, but majority of his life he lived in Wisconsin. And no, he did not live in any of the other ones, the options there. Hello, Joshua. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Joshua. So as you can see on your screen, you'll see there are 30 questions total. You'll see the question and the 4 possible answers to the actual trivia questions. Diana Bowman, good evening. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend as well. All right, question number 7. Ed Gein's mother was extremely abusive towards Ed growing up. Which of the following was another method she used to control him? A, she tied him up. B, fanatical religion. C, verbal. Or D, sexual abuse. Ed Gein's mother was extremely abusive towards him growing up. Which of the following was another method she used to control him? Cobweb floating through this in here. Sorry. I'm a sicko. Every time I watch Andrew Watson interview, I crave a Big Mac and fries. Yes. I'm going to have to agree with that. What did Jeffrey Dahmer say to Lorena Bobbitt? Are you going to eat that? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No. Oh, moments in trading. Oh, no. No. Her piece is going with Mountain Lion. So she used a mountain lion to control him. Oh, I didn't read it before I actually saw it and started reading it. Yeah. Ed Gein's mother was extremely abusive towards him growing up. Which of the following was another method she used to control him? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B, as in boy. Fanatic religion. She was she was into all different types of extreme religious practices, and lived her life. From what I've read, she lived her life basically by the Bible and took it as a literal a method to how to live your life in every aspect. Hey, that preppy killer guy is walking around free, ain't he? I'm not sure who that is. Mr. Frosty. You know, most people think that Lorena Bobbitt was found not guilty, but she was actually convicted of one charge. They got her for littering. Okay, going on to question number 8. What was the name of the ranch Juan Corona worked for near Lomo Crossing? A, the Peppermint Hill. B, the Double R Ranch. C, the David, I think that's how you pronounce that, David Ranch. Or D, the Sullivan Ranch. What is the name of the ranch Juan Corona worked for near Lomo Crossing? Well, there's the wonderful wife. Hey there, handsome. Hello, sweetheart. Auntie Moore Lane, welcome. Welcome, 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 Auntie Moore Lane. I hope you have been taking care of yourself. Thank you for joining us tonight. What was the name of the ranch Juan Corona worked at near Lomo Crossing? Good. He's very glowy. I'm not putting any more coffee facial scrub on my face. I'm not doing that. I wish I had a cool screen name. Hello. You can change it anytime you want, Lisa. Do you know how? Do you use Windows OS? It's really simple to do. You have a really old pic of Gen's mom. But if you have if you're using an Android device or a Windows operating system, you go to the top right hand corner. You'll see your little icon for your name, Lisa. You click on that, and then it'll actually bring you up to a page with Google or whoever you use for your operating system. And right there is the option to change your name. You can change it to anything you want. Just if you do change it, let me know. Because I want to greet everybody. All right. This is question number 8. I have to actually look at my cheat sheet here. What's the name of the ranch that Juan Corona worked for near Lomo Crossing? The correct answer is D, as in dog, the Sullivan Ranch. The Sullivan Ranch. I have no idea where Lomo Crossing is or the Sullivan Ranch. That's the truth. I know who Juan Corona is. I know who he is. But I had no idea where these places are, or that ranch is. All right, question number 9. The American TV show Seventh Heaven was sued by another network to change the family name from the Camdens before it first aired. Who sued them? Was it A, NBC, B, Fox, C, PBS, or D, Court TV? So it looks like Sosa from Scarface. But it's the same place you can change your photo for your for your name, Lisa. If you want to change like your photo or your name, it's all in the same place. I want my attorney present. You are the attorney, sir. I know. Where's my present? Oh. The American TV show, The Seventh Heaven. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that show. Was sued by another network to change the family name from the Camdens before it first aired. Who sued them? I don't. I saw the picture of this of the family where the Camdens are. I mean, I think I may have seen like the preview for it, or it was on television, obviously, but I couldn't tell you what channel it was on or anything about the show. But I just remember the father who played and that I can't remember what his name is, but by just looking at him, I recognized who he is. You've got everything a man could want. Carrie's going with NBC. I want to change my name. All the good ones are taken. Cement Shoes, Inner Peas, Okie Dokie. I'm sure there's something else out there, Lisa, if you want to change your name to something else. I'll guess Mr. White in the billiard room with the rope. That's a good Clue reference. Inner Peas is going with 7-Eleven. All right, the American TV show Seventh Heaven. Who were they sued by to change the name of the family from the Camdens before it first aired? Question number 9. The correct answer is A, NBC. NBC sued them because they were in a promotional talks about another show that never did air that had the family's last name was the Camdens. So they wanted them to change their name, and they were like, we're not doing it. But they already had a TV show written around a family that never did air that was called the Camdens. All right, question number 10. What is a duel between 3 people called? What is a duel between 3 people called? Is it called A, Minkle, B, a Truel, C, a gentleman's boar, or D, a triple moor? A duel between 3 people. I didn't know that they had duels between 3 people. I always thought of a duel as like 2 individuals. Raquel. Jeannie, you only missed one so far. That's pretty good. I mean, there's like 3 questions already on that, out of these first 10 that I didn't know. Like this one, I had no idea that there was ever a duel between 3 people. I thought it was basically 2 men stood back to back. They took so many paces and then they shot each other, or they tried to. I had no idea that that there was ever a duel for 3 people or a name for it. Fun fact: the role of Mr. Bodhi in Clue was played by Li Ving, the singer of the punk band Fear. I've never seen it. Pip Dot never seen 7 either. Right? I have no idea. Okie dokie. I have no idea how they determine who goes first. The pieces says the Bermuda Triangle. Could be. I like the band autocorrect from my phone. There's a way to turn it off, Mr. Frosty. I don't know how. I'm the last person to know that. If my phone just stops working, I walk into the house, my phone in my hand like this, and I go, fix it. Fix it. Tell either my wife or my daughter, because I don't have a clue. What is a duel between 3 people called? Good, the bad, and the ugly. I know a little bit about duels and have never heard of a 3-person duel. I really did not know this, but after I tell you the answer, you can Google it, and it's really there. It's a real thing. All right, and what is a duel between 3 people called? It's called a truel. B as in boy, a truel. I've never heard of it before. I really hadn't. I've been within 7 feet of Li Ving. Really? Sounds like the ending of Reservoir Dogs. A great movie, by the way. I'm a big fan of just about everything that Harvey Keitel has ever done. Great director and writer. All right, question number 11. In public places in the state of Florida, what's illegal to do when wearing a swimsuit? In the state of Florida, there are things that you're not allowed to do in a swimsuit. Is it A, sing, B, laugh, C, be part of a duel, or D, get married? What are you not allowed to do in public places in Florida while wearing a bathing suit? Bend over. You almost met John Schneider. Mike, did you know that John Schneider has a YouTube channel? And some of I watched one of his videos the other day, where he goes through and he picks apart all the people who make replica, cars for the show, like the General Lee and stuff like that. And he's gone through and those who made replicas of their sister's name, whatever her name was, her Jeep, and and Grandpa's truck. And he goes through and it's like, okay, this is what people do wrong when they make their replica General Lees. But it's actually a pretty interesting channel. I watched the one video, but I noticed that he had a YouTube channel. You do? You're subscribed to it? I had no idea until it just came up. I was watching another channel and it came up as a suggestion after I watched the video on that channel. He run for office. I know 2 things you should never do your wedding night. Point and laugh. Oh my God. Is that from personal experience, okie dokie? in the Reservoir Dogs was four-way, sort of. In public places in the state of Florida, what is illegal to do when wearing a swimsuit? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is A, sing. There are 4 counties in the state of Florida where it is illegal to sing while wearing a bathing suit. Excuse me. I need to use my new vocabulary. Fun fact, first time the Dukes jumped a car, they scraped up their backs on the door lock. Really? I guess got this figure that triple is 3. So instead of dual, it's true. Well, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Yep. Not allowed to sing. All right. Question number 12. Which famous killer was creating a female suit? A bodysuit. Was it A, Ted Bundy, B, Ed Gein, C, Juan Corona, or D, Anthony Perkins? Who was creating a female suit? Yeah, that's what I figured. The door lock's a little thing that slides up and down. So they took them. They probably took them out of the car. This is why you love Florida. It's so reasonable. Wasn't it Waylon Jennings that did the song for him? I used to love to watch it so to see who they were going to catch in the Speed Trap. And when they get forced to play at the Crow's Nest or whatever it was, name of the bar. When they used to bring on different country, or different artists at the end of it. Yeah, it was Waylon. Which infamous killer was creating a female suit? The correct answer is B, Ed Gein. Good old Ed Gein. Twisted, crazy man. So the correct answer is B, Ed Gein. Again. Question number 13. Who was nicknamed the Red Light Bandit? Who was nicknamed the Red Light Bandit? Was it A, Jimmy Hoffa, B, Ed Gein, C, Carol Chessman, or D, Christian Longo? Who was nicknamed the Red Light Bandit? Bobcat Pass. I loved how every road was like Bobcat Pass. You'll make a shoehorn out of your skin. It was one twisted man. Just remember, for every one of the Ed Geins out there that have been caught, there's always 1 or 2 more that have never been caught. In the Dukes, every road had a country name. Rotten Robbie. You know, he passed away, didn't he? Pretty sure he did. I can picture his name, but I'm not sure how you pronounce it, his name. Last name. I don't know. I feel like he's still alive though. Was Christian Longo a Jehovah's Witness? That's a good question, Carrie. He may have been at one time, but he certainly wasn't towards the end of his life. I mean, well, he's still alive. He's in prison, but before he committed his crimes, he may have been a Jehovah's Witness earlier in his life, but certainly not for around the time that he committed the crimes. And killed his kids. Robbie's alive. He's married to a woman who used to sing with Meatloaf. Oh. Just two good old boys, never do no harm. Trouble with the long arm of the law since the day they were born. Ode to Billy Joel. Okay, this is who I was thinking of when you said Rotten Robbie. This is who I was thinking of. Stefan Karl, however, was an Icelandic actor and singer best known for its portrayal of antagonist Robbie Rotten in the children's television show Lazy Town. And he is definitely passed away. All right. Who was the nickname the Red Light Bandit? The correct answer for this one is C, as in cat. Carl Chessman was nicknamed the Red Light Bandit. I do not know the actual meaning behind it. Did he rob people at red lights? I don't know. Don't know what he did. This is one of the questions that I don't even have reference to. I looked it up. I looked up his name. We obviously, he killed women. All right, next question. Question number 14. Adam Walsh was the victim of a horrific crime. His death led to many changes in the law. Who was established as his killer? A, James Humphrey. B, Gary Ridgway. C, Otis Toole. Or D, Jeffrey Dahmer. What about Sean Cassidy? From Cassidy from the Partridge Family? I don't know. Is he still alive? Carrie Ludwig's going with Otis Toole, Otis Toole, Otis Toole. C, but Dahmer did it. I think Carrie thinks she knows this one. We'll see here in a minute. Shango on Danger Island. I don't even remember that. Is that a movie, Mr. Frosty? Icarus Effect. Welcome. Sorry if I'm butchering your name there. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm glad you could join us for the True Crime Trivia tonight. Sean produces some TV shows, I think. Mr. Frosty's going with Otis Toole as well. Partridge Family was David Cassidy. Sean Cassidy was the Hardy Boys. Oh. Okay. Thank you, Moments in Trading. I never saw the TV show. I read the books. The Hardy Boys. Authorities believe Dahmer was really the one who killed him. Think so, Mike? I mean, do you think that Dahmer did it? Because Dahmer lived quite a few states away. I don't know how they can make that connection to Dahmer, but it is an option on the trivia, isn't it? What was that Otis Toole movie? Oh, I didn't know they made a movie about Otis Toole. All right, Adam Walsh, John Walsh's son, the host of America's Most Wanted. That's who Adam Walsh is, by the way, in case you don't get the reference. Was the victim of a horrific crime. His death led to many changes in law. Who was established as his killer? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is C, Otis Toole. Otis Toole was the established killer of Adam Walsh, but he was never convicted of the crime. Oops. Keep on forgetting to turn the damn camera on. The Confession Killer. Henry Portrait of a serial killer. Question number 15. Australia is not without its serial killers. Which of these infamous murders is from the land down under? A, Dallas Franstein. I think you pronounce it Franstein or Franstein. B, William Hurd. C, David Palmer, or D, Paul Diner. Could be pronounced differently. I don't know. I get 0 points for pronouncing people's names correctly. I followed the Walsh case forever. Hey, Zelda. Good evenings. I'm sorry I missed your call earlier. I was not available. Australia is not without its serial killers. Which of these should be which of this is infamous murder from the land down under? No idea on 13. Are you on question number 13, Lisa? Might want to refresh your stream. Australia is not without its serial killers. Which of these infamous murders is from the land down under? A. Dallas Franstein, B. William Hurd, C. David Pomeroy, or D. Paul Diner or Denyer. Ivan Milet. He might be another serial killer from there, but that's not one of the options. Could be. I mean, I'm guessing there's more than one serial killer in Australia or New Zealand. Paul Hogan. Paul Millet was Wolf Creek. Kidnapped in 7 seconds. Isn't that the name of the book? All right, question number 15. The correct answer is D. Paul Denyer, or however you pronounce that. Denyer. I don't know. But the correct answer is D. I gave him points for pronouncing names right. And the next question is in relation to the same man. Question number 16. Paul Denyer was a killer of 3 women and maybe as many as 6. What nickname did the media give him? Paul Denyer was a killer of 3 women and maybe as many as 6 women. What nickname did the media give him? A, the Castle Murderer, B, the Frankston Killer, or C, the Tri-Power Killer, or D, the Bad Brother Killer. You gotta go to bed. 8, missed unemployment. Good night, Mr. Frosty. Thank you for joining us tonight. You have a wonderful week. Stay safe out there. Otis Toole was a menace that was a patsy, but many believed Dahmer, who lived nearby in Florida at the time, did it. Otis was a fall guy. No idea on 16 either. Vicarious effect, lost on that one. What did the media give him as a nickname? Castle Murderer, B, the Frankston Killer, C, the Tri-Power Killer, or D, the Bad Brother Killer. That's an odd name for for a nickname to give to a serial killer. Bad Brother Killer. All right, but what is the correct answer for question 16? The correct answer is B, as in boy. Okie dokie, chiming in there just at the end. B, the Frankston Killer. Killed 3 women and maybe as many as 6. So B as in boy. B 2 times the chance. Welcome back, Mr. Frosty. Sleep is for wussies. Okay, question number 17. What was supposedly the purpose, the profession of Sweeney Todd in London? What was the profession of Sweeney Todd? Was he a barber, a cobbler, a chimney sweep, or a police officer? What was supposedly the profession of Sweeney Todd in London? Web Sleuths, the website. I'm a member on Web Sleuths. I almost never comment or post anything underneath my name. Jess Theory. I think it's A because my partner always confused Sweeney Todd with Edward Scissorhands. That's a good movie. Edward Scissorhands. And her piece is going with pastry chef. Pastry chef. Figaro. What was the supposedly the profession of Sweeney Todd in London? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is A, barber. Yeah, Sweeney Todd supposedly the profession was a barber. Haha, it repeated. He gets them in the barber chair and swish across his throat. Hello, easily distracted. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm glad you could join us tonight. Better late than never. All right, question number 18. After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, the U.S. declared war on which country? A, Canada, B, Japan, C, Germany, or D, China? After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, the U.S. declared war on which country? What? You had your YouTube account hacked. I know about that. The creators shunning you? I didn't ever shun you. I almost subscribed to as the Solvable Mysteries podcast. Then the one guy annoyed the crap out of me, so I unsubscribed again. Solvable Mysteries? I've never heard of that one. I've had good evening, Karen Cadle. Welcome to the True Crime Trivia tonight. Glad you can make it. Johnny Depp played Sweeney Todd and Edward Scissorhands. Yes, he did. Yeah. After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, the U.S. declared war on which country? No, ladies and gentlemen, it was not. We did not declare war against Canada, although we could take them easily. But no, we declared war against B, Japan. Declared war against Japan. You'd be surprised how many people I asked this question on Reddit as a question, not recently, but it was a while ago. And I think it was, I want to say like the first 30, 35 people who answered it answered that we declared war on Germany after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Okay. All right, question number 19. What does the F stand for in FBI? What does the letter F stand for in FBI? A, future, B, forensics, C, Fahrenheit, or D, federal? What does the F stand for in FBI? I hear fishtail sounds. Cement shoes. The correct answer is Japan. After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, the United States declared war on Japan. But I asked a question on Reddit, and when I asked it on Reddit, a whole bunch of people said that the correct answer to that trivia question was we declared war on Germany after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Mayo? What does F stand for in FBI? They are for a large part. So when somebody does like a super chat, depending upon the method that what card they're using, the average is 20 to 25% is what YouTube takes. That's their cut from every super chat, and it's based up to a certain dollar amount. Well, I want to do a collab. Take over my info. With Summer Wells, call me. You're going to be shocked. It's eye-opening info. Well, I'll give you a call, Zelda. I don't know if I have the time right now to do Summer Wells right off the bat, but I mean I could try to make time for it. Inner piece, you're going with Fluffy. Damn lag. But I'll give you a call tomorrow if that works for you. I just didn't have time to do it when you called. I was busy. Mr. Frosty is going with Fruity. Fruity. All right. What does the F in FBI stand for? The correct answer, everybody, is D, as in dog. Federal. I've done all the work, deep dive, etc., but I'm in too much pain to deal with it. Oh, I'm sorry, Zelda. John Belushi said it was the Germans. Yeah. That wasn't that in Belushi was in 1941, wasn't he? The movie? think he was, or maybe it was 1943 or whatever the movie was, something like that. John Belushi said it, so it must be true. And he was an absolute classic in the movie, Animal House. All right, question number 20. Who was convicted and executed for the kidnapping and murder of the Charles Lindbergh's son? Who was convicted and executed for the kidnapping and murder of the Charles Lindbergh son? Excuse me. Was it A, Mickey Rosner, B, William Willie Donovan, C, Bruno Hauptmann, or D, John Condon? Who was convicted and executed? This one is hard. Ooh, good luck, everyone. I have nothing. Let me take a stab at it, Jess. You never know. You might get it. I mean, you got a 1 in 4 chance, right? I called 6 times, texted her 2. What I've uncovered is hauntingly similar to Wells, both Adventist girls. See, there you go. Mickey Mouse. It could be Mickey Mouse. Easily distracted. A, B, C, or D. Okay, let's go with B, Will. Who was convicted and executed for the kidnapping and murder of Charles Lindbergh's son? Over what was when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. So for this one, the correct answer is C. C as in cat. Bruno Hauptmann was convicted and executed for the kidnapping and murder of Charles Lindbergh's son. A botched kidnapping and ransom. Have you, Mr. Frosty? I've never been anywhere near there. At least not that I know of. Sounds like it'd be an interesting place to go see, at least. All right, question number 21. When does the FBI take over a case? When does the FBI take over a case? A, when local PD can't solve it. B, when there is too much forensic, I'm guessing, evidence. Or C, when there is evidence of crimes in 2 states. Or D, when Batman calls them. When does the FBI take over a case? Yeah, I've read a lot about the evidence that they used against him, Mr. Frosty, and wow, I mean, some of that evidence was really sketchy, especially about the type of nails that were used for the ladder, and stuff like that. It's like, really, that kind of evidence would not fly today. When does the FBI take over a case? When Barry Morpheus starts talking about mountain lions. I hate to think what happened to Suzanne. When does the FBI take over a case? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is the letter C. When there is evidence of crimes in 2 states. That is when it becomes a case for the FBI. There's other instances where the FBI gets called in, but in general, if there is evidence of the crime, either crossing state borders, or or more than one crime, 2 crimes that may have been committed by the same person, they can be separate crimes in different states. That's when the FBI gets called in. When you commit a crime crossing state lines, it becomes a federal offense. This is true. Very true. Barry had mountain lions. Jody had ninjas. Lori and Chad had zombies. Yeah, that's true, unfortunately. All right, question number 22. What is David Berkowitz's sentence? What is David Berkowitz's sentence? Is it A, 100 years, B, 200 years, C, life plus 25, or D, 365? What is David Berkowitz's sentence? Easily distracted is going with 365 years. Zelda's son is a music teacher at SDA Academy. Took him 14 years to exchange students across state lines to do unspeakable. To the kids, he went to the federal pen, but it's like Club Med. Wow. Pop atop again. What is David Berkowitz's sentence? This is one that I did not know. I knew he got sentenced to an awfully long time in prison, but look at the options there: 100 years, 200 years, 20 life plus 25, 365. That's a lot. Did anyone else see that show about Son of Sam? No. I have not seen any shows about Son of Sam. Love the sun. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Love the sun. Where they build the motorcycles? In Wisconsin? Harley Davidson's? Milwaukee? Raise your hand if you are wanting a chocolate Mr. Frosty. Is that a drink, Zelda? I'm guessing so. All right. What is David Berkowitz's sentence? Ladies and gentlemen, David Berkowitz's sentence is D, as in dog, 365 years. Love the sun. Welcome. I already said I love the sun. But David Berkowitz was given 365 years. Question number 23. How many fires did David Berkowitz set to judge the response time? A, 30 fires. B, 2,000 fires. C, 1,488. Or D, none. He was just a killer. How many fires did David Berkowitz set? Mr. Softy, who did business with the Kluski? The best at Starfire, welcome, by the way. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Best thing about this Wendy's Frosties is getting a French large fry and getting a Frosty and dipping the fries into the Frosty. Was the Iceman, yeah. Hired killer. I saw the True Crimes recaps about Son of Sam. How many fires did David Berkowitz set to judge the response time? Hey, Mary. Welcome to the stream, Mary. The family's doing great. Thank you for asking. They had a very relaxing weekend. I think my son's getting ready for his bubble bath here soon. I did. Thank you for asking, Starfire. Does anyone know a good Berkowitz documentary? I can't remember this one. How many fires did David Berkowitz set? The correct answer, this is 23. Gotta make sure I was correct there. Yep, is 1,488 fires. C, as in cat, is the correct answer. 1,488 fires. Obviously, he was a pyromaniac, but he set fires to see what the response time would be for the crimes that he really wanted to commit. All right, question number 24. How many complete trials did Ted Bundy have? How many complete trials? My mom went back out west today. She was here for a week. Well, I'm glad you got to visit with your mom, Mary. That was really nice of her to come see you. Did you see Crystal's, Will's younger daughter? LOL. She's too cute. Isn't she, Zelda? Yeah, my daughter is a very attractive young woman. Looks a lot like her mother. How many complete trials did Ted Bundy have? She is, Zelda. She is very precious. You're probably on some list now, Mr. Frosty. Oh, Mr. Frosty, if anybody's going to be on some list for anything, I'm probably on the list. You imagine what my internet history looks like and my phone logs? Love the Sun. I suck at trivia, but I'm giving it a go. There are a lot of questions on this that I didn't even know. How many complete trials did Ted Bundy have? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B, as in boy. He had 3 complete trials. Gotta run. Cats fighting. Yikes. Well, have a good night, Zelda. I'll try to give you a call tomorrow if that works out for you. All right. Question number 25. What is Gary Ridgway's sentence? What is Gary Ridgway's sentence? Is it A, 100 years, B, 200 years, C, life plus 25 years, or D, 408 years? What is Gary Ridgway's sentence? My answer is whatever Cement Shoe says, D. 48 consecutive life sentences, says Jeannie. Imagine you're aging. There's no reason to be sorry about that, Jeff. I don't think if they were sentenced Lori and Chad tomorrow, I give them maximum a year. Because you have to remember, look back on what their Chad's vision was before all this started. They had a date that they already planned on killing themselves way before any of this. That they were going to kill themselves so they could cross over to the other side of the veil to help the 144,000, right? So they already had a date that they knew that they thought the world was going to end by. Well, how are you going to enjoy the world ending if you're still here? So if they get convicted of any of this at all, which I'm almost certain they're going to, but I don't give them a year. They can't keep them in suicide watch for indefinitely. Sleep calls. Good night, Stephanie. You have a great night, and thank you for stopping and playing True Crime Trivia with us tonight. You have a wonderful week. Well, I enjoyed the taco podcast today. Well, thank you. Love the sun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Flower Girl, Power 67, welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm glad you could join us tonight. Yep. All right. Gary Ridgway, what is his sentence? His sentence is D, 408 years. And you think 408 years is a long time? It's nowhere near the longest sentence ever handed down. There is currently, I believe he is in the state of Virginia. I found a gentleman there who is sentenced to over 1,000 years in the state. I think it's in Virginia or maybe it's North Carolina or something like that. He's doing time for, I think it's 5 murders, but they gave him his sentence was like over 1,000 years. It's insane. It's like, I mean, obviously he's never going to be able to serve that. Well, you just give him a life without the possibility of parole. All right, question number 26. What nickname did David Berkowitz attribute to Jack Cassar, who thought he was the leader of the demons? What nickname did David Berkowitz attribute to Jack Cassar, who he thought was the leader of the demons? A, Papa. B, Brother. C, General Moto. Or D, General Cosmo. What nickname? Will, you always make me feel good because you're kind to everyone, and I really appreciate the way you deal with others. Oh, thank you, Zelda. Just human. I treat people the way I want to be treated. And I think this world can go a lot farther if we all just get out of our own damn headspace and we treat people the way that we want to be treated. He looks inbred. Gary Ridgway is, he's a special kind of guy, isn't he? Does he look, I don't know what inbred would look like, but I mean, I couldn't imagine that. You know, you'd have to be pretty desperate, you think, to want to get into his truck with him. His IQ is between 60 and 70. Did they, Ridgway, did they ever test his IQ officially? I wasn't aware if they did. E. Chad Dumbbell. Broken Justice. Welcome. The hills have eyes. They were inbred. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Broken Justice. I don't know why anybody would ignore you, Zelda. He was about half of what Kemper scored. Did not know that. They were mostly hookers, weren't they? Hookers and runaways, Smith shoes. Quite a few times he almost got caught. There's one story in particular that's told by a former Spokane, I think he was a Spokane Police Department officer. I could be wrong. He could have been a sheriff's officer. But where Ridgway was seen patrolling, slowly going through the neighborhood in his pickup truck, looking for his next victim. And he got stopped a couple of times by this officer, and who kind of knew him by sight, because he was always in or around the area. But they never were able to definitely say that was him. And Bundy, we all know now, helped catch him. It was good, great. I'm glad you had a great weekend. Okay, nickname that David Berkowitz attributed to Jack Cassar, who he thought was the leader of the demons. The correct answer for question 26 is General Cosmo. D as in dog is the correct answer. I do believe that is the last, David Berkowitz question on here. Been quite a few of them. All right. Number 27. When was the last time the police or newspapers heard from the Zodiac? And in reference to when was the last time he wrote them a letter or send them a cipher or anything? Was the last time the police or the newspapers heard from the Zodiac? Was it A, 1980, B, 1981, C, 1978, or D, 1990? When was the last time the police or newspapers heard from the Zodiac? The real Duct Tape Bandit, I'm so late. Welcome anyways. Glad you're here. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm so late, but I'm here. You look nice tonight. Well, been watching Relentless on Discovery Plus. Well, I hope you had a great weekend, Duct Tape Bandit. When was the last time the police or newspapers heard from the Zodiac? I think it wasn't me. I was 7. Dahmer almost got caught on his first victim driving around in the middle of the night with garbage bags full of body parts. Cop didn't check bags even though Dahmer had been drinking. Wow. His IQ, Jeannie, Flower Girl, Ed Kemper's IQ was definitely up there. My sister lived in Lake Grassy. She thinks the Zodiac Killer is a Seventh-day Adventist from the SDA college near St. Helena, where she went to college. I forget why she thinks that, but it made sense. Best shows come from the ID channel. Quite a few of them do. Dahmer looked like Kurt Cobain. I don't think so, Mr. Frosty, but When was the last time the newspapers or the police heard from the Zodiac? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is C, as in cat. 1978 was the last letter that was sent to either the police department or to the newspapers. 1978. All right, next question. My husband's IQ is 164, tested by Motorola and the U.S. Navy. He was a gifted child, but is an ass at some time. But aren't we all, Zelda? I'm sure if you ask my wife, she'd probably say the same thing about me. All right, question number 28. How many times during his killing, I guess that's a spelling error right there, killing spree, did Gary Ridgway kill more than one victim in a single day? How many times during Ridgway's killing spree did he kill more than one victim in a single day? A, 5 times. B, 50 times. C, 500 times. Or D, 1 time. I like the Fear Thy Neighbor show. Crazy people on there. I've never seen that one. Relentless on the Discovery Plus is really good. I've never seen that show either. I don't watch a lot of TV. To the honest truth, I don't. We're fighting over the crazy bus. I want newer, bigger, better, but needs a welfare check for that. Need a welfare check for that. LOL. How many times during his killing spree did Gary Ridgway kill more than one victim in a single day? Amy, welcome to the stream, Amy. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm glad you could join us tonight. I watched the Evil Lives here and disappeared. Evil Lives, huh? Signs a Psychopath on Discovery Plus is good as well. Relentless is about a girl in Hannibal, Illinois that is missing. You watch too much TV, Starfire? In a given week, if I watch any at all, maybe an hour, if that, in a week. And I probably watch more YouTube than anything at all. And it's only in bits and pieces here and there. I watch a lot of YouTube, though, I try to get ideas of how people are presenting information. Like I'll have done a video on a certain subject or case, and then I will look to see how other people have presented it before I release the video to the public. I probably have a dozen videos right now that are just sitting there that are already done, but they're unlisted, so nobody knows they're private, so nobody knows they're even there. And I'll release some to channel members, and I'll release some to Patreon, and then I'll release some to the general audience. But I'm constantly making and trying to retune and do a better job at this, what I do. So, and then some that I'll put on Reddit as well. So it's either channel members, Patreon, or Reddit. I don't post or do live streams to Facebook anymore because I really don't like Facebook Live. I have a lot of issues with Facebook. It's a giant dumpster fire. Disappeared has a lot of good cases. Debbie Harry claims that she escaped Bundy. Will, do you have any questions about the Real Duct Tape Bandit here every week? Do you have any questions about the Real Duct Tape Bandit? No. Real Duct Tape Bandit was here earlier, wasn't it? Weren't they? Pretty sure they were. Welcome, Lucy and Bill's Adventure. Welcome. All right. How many times during his killing spree did Gary Ridgway kill more than one victim in a single day? The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is, you ready for it? D, as in dog, once. Only one time in Gary Ridgway's, killing spree did he ever kill more than one victim on the same day. Otherwise, he spaced them out because he liked to go back and visit his victims over and over again afterwards. He would comb their hair, redo their makeup, and examine the body and go back, to be with them over and over again. But only once. The correct answer is D. Ridgway convicted of 49, but confessed to something like 80. I don't remember what the total number is, but it's up there, Amy. I know it's up there. Necrophilia. Oh, he definitely was a necrophiliac. So was Bundy. But that's how Bundy knew so much. He told the FBI, this is what you got to look for. And whatever you do, don't touch that body. Because Bundy knew just how much it meant, the body meant to the actual killer, the Green River Killer. And he said, look, you've got to look out for these things. And once you find that victim, don't you touch that victim. Because he knows everything about how that body has been positioned, everything. And he was right. Because it took a sick man to be able to tell the people, the authorities, the FBI and everybody, what to look for and how the body was. It wasn't just carelessly thrown into the woods or buried in a manner where somebody's trying to get away from the crime. He knew that the person who had done this was going to come back. Will, I love to chat with you sometimes. I feel like our kids have similarities and kind of want to pick your brain. My almost 5-year-old is just now starting to talk full sentences, long story attached. Yeah, Sulfur Music. If you go to my YouTube, to my main dashboard, where you see the banner, and it says videos, channels, playlists, and all the way over to the right-hand side, you'll see it says About Me. You can click on that, and then it'll bring up a page, a description of who I am and how long I've been at this. Scroll down a little bit, and there's a part there that says email, but you'll see a gray or an off-white box. You click on it, it's going to bring up a pop-up that says, are you a robot? Obviously, no, you're not a robot. You click on that, and then it will show you right on the page, right where you just recently clicked. It'll show you my email address. Email me. But anyways, going on to question number 29. I'm not uptight like that. I'm a real laid back chick that loves true crime. I've been watching this channel for almost 3 years. Real Duct Tape Bandit and as Duct Tape Bandit. I know. And I really appreciate you coming here, Real Duct Tape Bandit. I was kind of wondering about the question itself, though. All right, question number 29. When did the trial for the Night Stalker, a.k.a. Richard Ramirez, take place? When did the trial for Richard Ramirez take place? The Night Stalker. Was it A, January of 1987, B, July 1987, C, January of 1989, or D, July of 1988? When did the trial for Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, take place? Does your wife think Chad was into romancing the stone cold dead? I think so. Don't want to write the words out too sickening for you. Zelda, to tell you the truth, sweetheart, my wife doesn't follow any of this, the stuff that I do, or the cases. And what little she probably knows about Lori Vallow and Chad Dumbbell is from brief conversations that I've had with her about it. She just does not want to hear about the the things that sometimes though I build this stuff up in my head and I just got to get it out. So I kind of vomit, the cases that I've been researching at her. Sometimes she just sits there and just nods her head. And other times she's just like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear what the hell you've been reading about this week. No. I'm thinking of starting a movie reaction channel. Only I'll make it totally obvious I've seen the movie before. You never know, Mr. Frosty. It could be the next big hit on YouTube. There's a lot of reaction channels out there. I remember women being all nuts over Ramirez in court. I don't get it, but each their own. Yeah, right, Amy? I think he's one fugly looking dude. When I was young enough for him to freak me out with it. Zelda, my wife's major was in originally it was in deviant sexual behavior. So yes, but she's up in the air on what her actual major is going to be. If she's going to go towards a pharmaceutical, or she's going to stay more towards counseling, in psychotherapy, on that lines. But I told her about your sister and what your sister does for a living. But yeah, she's up in the air right now what she really wants to do. But so Right now, it's just getting through all the different steps, in her degrees. My husband is the same way. He kind of knows stuff, but only because I tell him. But yeah, he's half listening when I tell him YouTube stuff for sure. Yeah, I think the Night Stalker series did a good job. All right, when did the trial for Richard Ramirez take place? The correct answer is C, January of 1989. How that ugly SOB had groupies will forever be a mystery, right? Pharma much better. Your sister hates her job, working a chronic mentally ill. It weighs on her. Made her a nasty person to be around. Clinical, but cynical about everyone. Yeah, but I mean that's one of the things though, Zelda, that it's kind of like the glue that holds us together, to some extent as well. I mean, she may be actually studying, and working on her degrees, in psychology. But if you look for all for older textbooks, I've got them all in here. That's actually interesting to me because the psychology behind what actually motivates and makes people do what they do, in committing these murders and stuff. That's probably one of the largest draws. I mean, we can sit down and the two of us can talk for hours about psychology, and the motivation behind, what makes people do the things that they do. And it's really surprising, though. All right. Question 30. What is the name of the FBI agent who pioneered the use of profiling in serial murder cases? What is the name of the FBI agent who pioneered the use of profiling in serial murder cases? Is it A, William Rockwell, B, John Douglas, C, Roger McClintock, or D, Bad Boy Leroy Brown? He's bad. He's bad. Bad Leroy Brown. Meanest bad. Oh, damn bad. Meaner than a junkyard dog. But counselor is awesome. His dad molested him when a young boy, so he understands having horrible parents who pretend to be Christians. Oh, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, sometimes it takes a person to actually have the understanding and empathy for what other people are going through. Mr. Frosty's going with E, Jack Crawford. Lucy and Bill's Adventure is going with McClintock. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. McClintock, yeah, that's what it looks like it be pronounced. He's bad. Yes, he is. He's bad Leroy Brown. Maddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than an old King Kong. Meaner than a junkyard dog. It's true. Because he's bad. He's bad. Leroy Brown. What a tragic loss. We'll never get music like that ever again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll never, ever get music like that again. William Graham, F. That'd be nuts. It's a half-hour drive one way. Mr. Frosty, it's your fault. What is the name of the FBI agent who pioneered the use of profiling in serial murder cases? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is C. Roger McClintock. Roger McClintock was the one that pioneered it. But yes, Jim Croce. If I could save time, bottle. Here's a bonus question for you. Since I said we were almost done with the Son of Sam and Berkowitz questions. Who was the last victim of Son of Sam? Was it A. Mildred Connor, B. Marcia Brady, C. Stacy Moskowitz, or D. Maggie Moskowitz? Who was the last victim of the Son of Sam? You want my wife's purple chair? Isn't that awesome? She loves that chair. It is so comfortable to sit in too, Zelda. And I get this green chair that's behind me here. Uber Eats. I don't think they're going to deliver it for over an hour away. It's 9 o'clock our time right now, Mr. Frosty. This chair though, I mean, it's so comfortable. You sit in, it's got like the old springs in it. It's not like the newer furniture where they put cardboard and other crap in it. It's really comfortable. Marcia. Marcia Brady. It's always Marcia. All right. Who was the last victim of the Son of Sam? The correct answer is Stacy Moskowitz. C as in cat. I can do that. C. There you go. C. It's 11 o'clock here. I'm always in the tub when you go live on Sundays. I don't know why. Well, I mean, it could be worse. I mean, you could be, cleaning your bathroom. I think she's still here. She was here earlier. My friend still won't let me live that down. Yes, it was Flower Girl. The last one was C. Stacy Moskowitz. Done. I got it right because I was just reading interview about it. Short nights, yeah, right. Tim still gives me crap about that. He's like, hey, you know what? At least you're entertaining short nights while she's cleaning her bathroom. We're just playing with each other, just jabbing each other. We don't mean anything seriously from it. Well, I hope everyone had an excellent time tonight playing the True Crime Trivia. Next weekend it's one person. It's not general crime, and all questions are not all over the place. And I do understand if some of these questions are a little obscure, they're a little bit hard to understand. But next Sunday we're back to crimes, either a killer or a serial killer. Next Sunday. So yeah, I ordered Dairy Queen and it was a disaster. I'll be back next weekend for sure. This was nice. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jess. And then if I could ask everybody if you get a chance, could you maybe hit the thumbs up or hit the thumbs down? Whichever. If you didn't like the content, hit the thumbs down. Israel Keys. I'm working on one for Israel Keys. He's on the list. All right. The ones that I'm working on, it won't be this weekend. It'll probably be a couple weeks after that. I'm working on 30 trivia questions for Sirhan. Israel Keys is on here. The Boston Strangler, and Dennis Nielsen. Those are the ones that I'm working on, but those ones are nowhere near done. Thanks for this, Will. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Amy. Holden Ford character is based on John E. Douglas. I'm all crazy over here. Mindhunter show. I've seen Mindhunter. It's a good show. What about the guy who killed Versace? They just had like another murder there at Versace's home, where somebody else died there. I'm pretty sure of it. Israel Keys was a sicko. Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad you all enjoyed it tonight. Well, everyone, I'm going to wrap it up there, and I wish you all a happy week ahead. I hope you all are able to stay safe out there. And if you're going to be working outside, in gardening or whatever, just take precautions because of the heat, and make sure you try to wear protective sunscreen, a hat, drink plenty of water, because heat stroke can come on really quickly, especially if you're taking any type of medication. So just stay safe. And everyone, Jean, welcome. We're about to wrap this up here, Janelle. You can watch it and rewind, though. But I hope you had a wonderful week, Janelle, and I hope you have a terrific week going ahead. But everyone, good night, and stay safe out there.